What's up, guys? This is Rick from Wicked Rails, and today I got a great video for all you. Today is going to be finally the Six Flags 2020 predictions from this channel. I'm actually super duper excited for that. I didn't mean to actually switch sides. But this is going to be a great video. I've been working on it for a while. Sorry we've been so absent from the channel so far this year. We've only gone to a couple parks. We went to Great Escape once, New England twice, and Great Adventure once. We've just been super busy, both myself and Jack. But we are trying our best to every once in a while crank out a video for you guys. So I figured I'd do this, considering our first announcement is coming out either tonight or tomorrow, and then all of the announcements will be the day after tomorrow, as far as I understand. And I'm very excited to get through this because I think this is going to be an awesome year for Six Flags with tons of variety and tons of different coasters. So it's really going to be something to look forward to, especially for the next season. And considering how good last season was with all these brand new ground up custom coasters like West Coast Racers and Max Force, there's a really good chance that this is going to be a great year. And sorry if you hear anything in the background. My blind dog is kind of wandering around at the moment, so we might bump into something, and I have to keep an eye on him every once in a while. Alright, well, let me just get into this. Alright, so to start out, I'm going to go in the same order I did last year. I believe it's the same order. Might be a couple changes. But basically, if a park doesn't have a color behind the name, that means it's just a mediocre park. There's really no point to go here. And I have them ranked in order of how much I like the parks, because now my repertoire of parks that I've been to is expanding. Anyways, to start off, Ronde is going to be our first coaster on the list. They will be getting Green Lantern First Flight. It is pretty clear that this is happening at this point. It would be very surprising if it wasn't. It seems like everybody is predicting this to happen. But basically, Green Lantern First Flight is a terrible, terrible ride that was at Six Flags Magic Mountain. It has been shut down all season, and supposedly they're moving it to La Ronde and retheming it to something new. This ride is, like, infamously bad. It makes people so, like, they feel so much hatred for this ride, and it just makes so much sense that it's going to La Ronde, and that's all I gotta say about it. It's basically confirmed at this point. And that's because I took so long to actually do these predictions, and I'm sorry about that, but figured I'd get them out as soon as I could. Anyways, for the Great Escape, I'm predicting this will be a big year for them. I think they're going to get a Starflyer. And while I don't think it's going to be like Sky Screamer here at New England, I do think they will get a Starflyer. It makes sense for this park. A lot of their swinging rides are pretty popular, and just adding a tall one would be something for thrill seekers to do while they're at the park. Great Escape is very bad. Like, I can't stress that enough. And ideally, I think a Raptor would be amazing here. I just think that's so unlikely. I don't think 2020 is the year. Last year we got buckets. And you can't even ride them unless you're with a toddler. So yeah, it's always a disappointment when they announce the Great Escape. Is always going to get a stupid flat or something for the water park. And the water park has gotten so much grosser over the years, but, you know, whatever. Starflyer would be cool for this park. It just makes sense. Okay, so for Frontier City, I haven't been here, but from what I understand, it's very similar to something like the Great Escape. It's a very small, family-oriented park, and their main draw is a wooden coaster, so it's very similar to the Great Escape. So I think they're going to be getting an Enterprise like Supergirl from St. Louis last year, and the other option would be a Starflyer here as well. And considering Darien Lake, which was the other park that Six Flags bought along with Frontier City last year, got a Starflyer last year, Starflyer would make a bit more sense. I kind of imagined flipping Frontier City and Darien Lake's additions from last year, and it seems like that actually might be the case. Anyways, on to Six Flags St. Louis. This is going to be the first major addition that I'm predicting. I actually have quite a few coasters on here. I think it's going to be a massive year. But I think they will be getting a clone of Wonder Woman's Golden Lasso coaster. This ride, from what I understand, is one of the best out there. It's absolutely phenomenal. For a smaller park like St. Louis, that's actually their newest park in terms of being built, other than Darien Lake, but they just bought that, so I don't, and they already lost it, so I don't know what you consider. Anyways, Six Flags St. Louis is one of the youngest parks, and they could really use something cool like this. I think it would fit the park very well. The capacity wouldn't be a problem for this park. The layout does not get old, from what I understand, and there's plenty of room for it. It's a big campus, and there's a lot of options that St. Louis could go for. I think an Enterprise is not an Enterprise, the Starflyer is an option here. I also think they could be getting a giant Discovery if they don't have one already. I can never remember what's at this park. But I do think an RMC Raptor would be a good fit here. And we know that Alan Schilke, who designs a ton of RMCs, if not all the RMCs, did say they would that RMC would be implementing more Raptor coasters, as well as a coaster model between the Raptor and the T-Rex that is meant for hyper coasters. The T-Rex is supposedly meant for giga coasters, 300 feet plus, and then there's a middle model that's for hyper coasters, and then RMC Raptors, which are under 200 feet. That was in an interview with the American Coaster Enthusiasts. I actually had the pleasure of asking him the question about the Raptors specifically. And he was very adamant that there would be new Raptors coming to parks in 2020, along with a new model of single rail that was designed to be a hypercoaster, and it's less than a T-Rex. So I don't know if we're getting a T-Rex this year. I'm unsure. Anyways, moving on. Six Flags Darien Lake. I think they're getting a water park edition or a family package. Their water park is fairly large. I can't recall if they've had an addition to their water park in a while, so I think that's the option. Like, say, I'm going to flip back for a second. Say Frontier City gets the Enterprise, I think they're going to get a water park edition. If Frontier City gets the Starflyer, I think they'll get a family package like Frontier City got last year. I think that would make a lot of sense, both of them, and I think those are definitely going to come in pairs, that park, but this makes a lot of sense. Just Darien Lake had a pretty big addition in 2017, I think, or 2018 with Tantrum. Yeah, 2018 was Tantrum, and that was pretty recent, so I don't think they're going to add any new coasters anytime soon, but who knows? New management, who knows? On to Six Flags America, I think they will be getting a giant Discovery, specifically the Giga Discovery, the clone of Wonder Woman and Crazanity and the Joker, like the one I have here. I've actually ridden this very recently at Six Flags Great Adventure. It is the best flat ride I've ever been on, and I'm totally down for more parks actually getting these because they are super, super intense and super fun. And it's a totally noticeable difference between Wonder Woman here and like Harley Quinn at New England. You can feel the height difference. And also, the flat New Jersey landscape adds so much to this ride. It's absolutely perfect for Great Adventure, and I'm sure it'd be perfect for Six Flags America as well. Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, I am once again predicting a drop tower. Pictured here is Sasquatch at the Great Escape, which is actually a pretty solid drop tower, except for these new restraints that they added this year, which are absolutely stupid, and it's the worst seatbelt ever. But this kind of model would work perfectly. Just a 150-foot drop tower, meeting the height limit of the park, and then, like, I believe Six Flags Discovery Kingdom is one of only like 2 or 3 parks that doesn't have a drop tower. It makes sense at this point. Six Flags Mexico, I am also predicting a giant Discovery to go here. I think that makes a lot of sense. They don't have one, and Six Flags loves them, and the crowds love them. There's always a line, and I know that has something to do with capacity, but considering like even on dead days, this ride always has a massive line, no matter which one it is. It's worth getting at every park. Oop. Six Flags Over Texas. This is a 100% confirmed edition, pretty much. I'd say 99%. It is a mock Power Splash that was originally going to Six Flags Dubai, which has been canceled. This is Pulsar at Wallaby, Belgium. Yeah, Belgium. It's from what I understand, a pretty great water ride, and I think it fit very well at Over Texas. This is one of the confirmed coasters because we've seen the parts going there. We know for a fact pretty much that this is going to Six Flags Over Texas, so don't act surprised because everybody's been predicting it. But yeah, it's a good fit. Six Flags New England has been promoted to a gold park with the addition, if they get an addition like this. I think since this is the park's 150th anniversary, it would only make sense for them to get a coaster. And yes, I know this is this one of two coasters that would be on the Northeast this year, but it makes so much sense with it being the 150th anniversary. New England has not gotten a new coaster since Goliath, not counting the free spin. So Goliath Towers, which was not even a ground up coaster, it was relocated, and then the one before that, or Wicked Cyclone, was built on Cyclone. Goliath was relocated from Magic Mountain. The free spin is a clone. There hasn't been a brand new custom addition to this park in forever. It's been a long time. It must have been like Pandemonium or something like that. I don't even know the exact details of what that was, but it's been a long ass time. Like, it's been similar to the amount of time it's been since the Great Escape has gotten a coaster in general, since this park has gotten something brand new, like ground up custom coaster. So I think this would be filling the only real hole in their lineup, which is a launch coaster. I think that something like Max Force, maybe even a clone of Max Force, would be amazing at this park. It would fit right in. I think it makes total sense that they would be getting a coaster this year. I hope that they're getting a coaster this year. And whether it's an S&S launch or a Premier Rides launch, I 100% think they are getting a launch coaster if they get a coaster at all. If they don't get a coaster, I don't think they'll get an Enterprise because they just got Cyborg Hyperdrive, which is so stupid. It's just a bad ride. And New England likes having similar rides, so maybe they'll do an Enterprise. So, they got two boomerangs, they got two swing rides, they got two of pretty much the same exact ride with Cyborg Hyperdrive and Krypton Collider. They're pretty much the exact same thing, and they're in the same pavilion. So who knows? Maybe they'll get just Batman, but it runs backwards or something. Who knows? Who knows? Six Flags Great America. I think most people are in agreement that this is going to be a water park year for them. It's been a long time since they've had an addition to the water park, and this park absolutely deserves something to update their water park. They just got Max Force. It's going to be a year to cool off, so I would not be surprised if they just added to their water park. Six Flags Over Georgia. I think they're going to be getting a family pack or an Enterprise. I think both would do fine here. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a free spin, but I do think Six Flags is finally done with super loops and free spins. I really hope they're done with super loops, because pretty much every park has one. As long as they don't get a super loop, I'm happy. Free spins are okay, but there's just too many at this point. I'm sick of seeing them. Six Flags Fiesta Texas. I'm predicting the same thing. Not much changes between these two slides. I'm predicting an Enterprise. I think this is going to be the most commonly cloned ride this year, along with Star Flyers and Giant Discoveries. I think those are going to be the big three flat rides. Six Flags Magic Mountain is getting a Star Flyer. That's what I'd say. I don't think West Coast Racers has even opened yet as of when I'm making this video, and it's almost like Fright Fest time. So I think they'll officially open that either for Fright Fest or during next season, and they'll add a Star Flyer this year. They don't have one there, and Magic Mountain likes to go big or go home, so I think they'll try and beat the record that's set by the Star Flyer in Orlando. And finally, the biggest coaster edition of this year that is confirmed as of now that they are getting a coaster. Six Flags Great Adventure and Safari is getting an RMC coaster that is 100% confirmed. They tweeted out a bunch of clues, and the highlighted letters in each tweet, or in each clue, spell out RMC YES or YES RMC. And it's like, yes, we're getting an RMC. It's blatantly obvious. So I've taken some concept art as well as a picture of Wonder Woman. I don't think they're going to get a Raptor, to be totally honest. I think it's going to go really big. It's been a long time since this park has gotten anything new, like straight up brand new custom coaster. especially considering this is one of their more popular parks, and it's like one of the only parks that doesn't have an RMC at this point, along with Great Escape, St. Louis, and La Ronde, which is insane, but it kind of makes sense because El Toro is more intense than pretty much every RMC. It's so crazy. So I don't think you need to make a hybrid coaster, and you don't really have anything you could make into an RMC. You have El Toro. It's the only wooden coaster at the park. So I think you keep El Toro. It's the king of all wooden coasters, the way it is. There's no way you could improve that ride. And then here, I think they're going to get right next to El Toro, where their Super Loop used to be, an RMC, either the middle model I was talking about, the Hyper model, or a T-Rex. They could be getting a Giga, and could be the first Giga at a park. That is a big, big stretch, though. I think they will be getting the middle model, which I'm going to call, like, Allosaurus or something, or that's what I'm going to say it's going to be called. Like Allosaurus, Stegosaurus, Triceratops, something like that. Though that wouldn't really make sense. I think it's going to be Allosaurus. And I think they're going to release the first one of that. We know that they were planning on doing so as of last year, and a bunch of Raptors. So I think a Cedar Fair Park will get a Raptor. I think one Raptor will be going to St. Louis, and I think that a Hyper RMC single rail with dual seats in every row of the train, so you don't have to worry about that massive capacity issue that's being raised. I think this would be really awesome. And the way they're teasing it, it seems like it could be a dueling coaster. So I think a dueling RMC Hyper would be, like, fantastic. And that's the one condition I see this being a Raptor. If it's a dueling coaster, I think it could be a Raptor. Also, I think there's a good chance of that Hyper coaster happening. And right now the main theory is that it's going to be called Jersey Devil, and it's going to be a ground-up RMC single rail. And we'll find out, I think, tomorrow. I can double-check that as I'm rambling here. But the other big question mark is Two-Face. It could be a Two-Face ride. But that really doesn't make much sense, considering that it's like the background of all their clues are in the poster, or in the forest. Sorry, I'm not really paying attention. I'm looking up on Twitter that last clue and seeing when that was posted. But I think this will be the park to watch coming out of this season. It's pretty clear that this was necessary. With Green Lantern not getting any riders, as far as I understand, and Bizarro's kind of declining in popularity, they need to add something new to bring back the crowds. Also, there's a bunch of other clues that make it seem like there's it's themed to Jersey Devil. They really are teasing that it's going to be, it says seeing double, so it must be a Jersey Devil themed coaster. There's even like a 13, like a birthday thing, and that has to do with the lore. Okay, so here's the latest clue. What goes up must come down. It's unlike anything we have around. We know you've waited all this time. Tomorrow's the day we solve this rhyme. And it says, and that was tweeted out today, August 28th, as of filming this. So tomorrow, we'll find out everything. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry this was a little scuffed, but, you know, I tried my best. I'm just going to upload this straight unedited footage to YouTube. So here we go. Let's do it. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.